Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching. This is a powerful video. I'm going to talk about how you can activate the highest version of you. This has been a powerful one for me over the past few weeks and months. I've been experiencing a lot of energetic changes. I'm just out on a beautiful walk/run where I live. We live in just outside of Coventry. Look at these beautiful fields here. Beautiful, right? Absolutely amazing. And so it's a theme I've been talking about for a while, and it's about how to become the new version of you. Now, there's so many different elements to this. You know, you may have heard people talk about, spend time with better people that have a higher energetic frequency, spend time with spiritual people. You know, I go to church. I'm in mastermind groups, I have mentors, business advisors, all that kind of stuff. And all that's really been very powerful, but there has been a fundamental flaw. There's been a fundamental blind spot. And that has been that unconsciously, I have been looking outside, even going to church, which you may say is like an internal thing. I've been going to church, I've been having mentors for as long as I can remember, to fill up a part of me that's felt empty, to help to create a sense of validation in me. I'm like looking at aeroplanes. I'm like obsessed right now. I've just come back from holiday. We've just been in Turkey, and I'm already thinking about my next holiday. I don't know what it is. I used to go on holidays as like an escape. I admit I used to be, like for example, we were on holiday and there's a couple of people, and at the end of their holiday, they were really sad. They really didn't want to go home. And they didn't say anything because it just wouldn't have felt right. But I used to be that person. And now holidays are very different now. Holidays are just a place to go to just recharge my central nervous system. Scientifically proven the warm weather and the sunshine helps massively. But now I have sun, right? I'm in the sun in my home, so it's beautiful to have the sun. If we had sun all the time where I live, I don't think I'd ever need to go on holiday. Anyway, as I watch the aeroplane, have a good holiday. One of the things I've also learned is, and this is I'm going off on a little bit of a tangent, but it feels right, is when you want something more for somebody else than you want for yourself, you'll really feel full. Like our neighbours have gone to Turkey this week and we just came back. And me and Sati were talking yesterday morning. We were like, oh, they'll be there now. I wonder what they're doing. I wonder what they're going to eat for breakfast. True story. And we were there the week before, right? Not the same holiday, not the same resort. But it's funny, when you're full, when your love cup is full, I see that aeroplane's just taken off, right? Don't know where it's going, pretending it's going to Turkey, which I just happen to really like. I just like the people and the culture and the food. They pretend they're going to Turkey, right? I'm literally watching that plane, and with my hand, one of the things I've been learning to do recently is a lot of blessing work. And I put my hand out, and I imagine this is there's a white light in my hand, kind of like an Avenger. Is it the Avengers that do that? I don't know. Anyway, pretend it is. And I'm sending a white light towards that plane. And I'm sending them positive energy and healing, that they're going on holiday, not to escape, but they all go there and have the best holiday ever. Not because they need it, but because they deserve the rest. And they all just have the best holiday ever, the most peaceful holiday ever. And I'm sending that to them. And there's something about when you do that, it just kind of gives you a sense of you're enough. Because I used to really find it hard to kind of bless people in that way because I didn't feel enough. It's like Wayne Dyer says, you can't give to people what you don't have in yourself. If you're not full, you can't give, right? If your cup's empty, if your phone is empty and somebody wants to use your phone, you're like, oh, sorry, dude, I've got no battery, right? You can't share your device. And it's the same with energy. And it's funny how we've kind of gone off on a bit of a tangent with this video, but what I was ultimately talking about was how, if you want to become the new version of you this year, then you've got to go inside more. You've got to go inside more. And something I've been talking about a lot is what I call like identity upgrading, which is you've got to close your eyes and actually visualizing through like a meditation. You might want to do like a manifestation meditation. There's a lot of them on YouTube. I'm going to start creating some myself soon. But you want to visualize yourself as acting out and doing things that would currently be outside of your current identity. But then what you've got to do is once you visualize something, you have to then make a point of going and doing something. So like for me, I'm now starting to do some YouTube advertising, and I've always kind of been in my, the past few years I've been in my comfort zone doing Facebook advertising. And YouTube ads, the difference is it's me on video. And you may think, well, why would you have an issue with being on video? Well, I don't, but I was so out of the habit of being on video that I was overthinking the YouTube ads. And so I basically said, well, if I was going to record YouTube ads, what would I need to do what's the identity I would need to adopt? I'm like, well, I'd be back doing videos every day. I'd be back vlogging for YouTube every day, because then that's going to mean that I'm in more of a congruent flow state than if I just kind of go out and go, in this video, I want to talk to you about my product, which would just be, oh, climbing over a tree, because that's how that would feel, right? It's like if you go to the gym once a week, you're not going to get the same feeling, the same result as if you go like 4, 5, 6, 7 days a week, right? So two things you've really got to do. Number one, you've got to close your eyes and visualize and picture yourself doing something that is outside of your current identity. And one of the things I like to do, and I was talking about this yesterday and the video kind of cut off because I ran out of memory in my phone. That's how many videos I've been doing. I forgot to delete them as I uploaded them to YouTube. Is you want to picture somebody who maybe has the identity that you want to have, because maybe you've compared yourself to somebody before. If you've ever done that, know that there's some really positive elements to comparison. I believe that when you compare yourself to somebody else, here's what I believe. I believe it's God, whether you believe in God or not. I believe it's like some spiritual thing trying to get you to recognize that that's in you. Like, I believe that we're all effectively one person, we're all effectively one being. We're not like separate entities, we're all one. So if we're all one, if you see something in somebody and it emotionally triggers you, that's probably a sign that the universe or God is trying to tell you that that's what you should be doing too, right? Trying to tell you that that's something that you should be focusing on. So like when I see people doing great YouTube videos and vlogs and having thousands and millions of subscribers, and I get maybe compare myself, that's God going, well, you should be doing that because you're really good on video. Or people are doing live events, go, well, you should be doing that. Good morning.
Morning.
How you doing? Lovely day, right? So, where was I? We're all fundamentally one. And so if that's true, comparing yourself is a good thing. Now, the only way that it becomes a bad thing is if you don't do anything with the comparison. Here's what I've learned, is that if I compare myself and don't do anything with it, it just feeds it. Feeds the ego, and the ego's like, yeah, you're not enough. You're not good enough. You're not as good as they are. But when I do something, it's amazing. Like a few weeks ago, I ran a live event. I've been doing live events for years, but I hadn't done a live event for my Mastercoach community. That's the coaching community that I host and serve and look after. Honoured to do that. Hey, if you're in my Mastercoach world. And we ran an event, like an in-person thing. Beautiful venue, overlooking the water, fed them coffees, all that stuff. It's beautiful. And it's like I'd been watching a couple of mentors doing things like that, comparing myself and judging myself and not doing it. And the minute I did it, I got home and I said to Sati, I feel amazing after that. It was incredible. It was brilliant. Like there was no financial gain from it or anything. It was literally, everybody just paid enough to cover the cost of the venue. And I'll be doing it more often now, by the way. If you're not joined our Mastercoach boardroom, every last Saturday of the month, we're getting together to do that. Strategically work on planning and growing and building your coaching business. Because did you know that 90 days is 1% of 25 years? So because of that, I believe it's really important to pause every 30 days to strategically plan before you take action. And that's what I've learned from some of my mentors, and so that's the purpose of the boardroom. Anyway, the point of what I was saying is I felt really good doing that event, and all of a sudden I've stopped looking at one of my mentors who's doing these type of events and comparing myself. The energy has shifted, it's changed, because I'm now not focused on him. I'm now focused on the fact that I've joined in the energetic vibration of adding value to other human beings, and I'm now not coming from a place of lack and fear and I'm not enough. And I'm not in a story. Instead, I'm in a place of service and the human need of contribution and adding value. So know that comparing is a good thing if you use it. You've got to use it though, right? It's like trainers for the gym. Yeah, trainers for the gym are good, but not if you don't use them. So you've got to use them. I don't want to get run over on this road, so I'm just gonna move over. There's no path where I am. So 2 things really, if you want to upgrade you have to do. Number one, you've got to close your eyes and you've got to visualize yourself doing the thing that would constitute the new version of you. And then number 2 is you've got to actually make a decision to then do that thing in some form or another. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like for me, it's YouTube ads. So I've got a microphone. I started recording some this week. I booked a slot in a studio in the next week to record some in the studio. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? But once you start doing the thing that is outside of your current identity, you are expanding yourself. You are becoming a new version of you, an expanded version of you. It's kind of like people say get out of your comfort zone. I say expand your comfort zone. Like expand it. You don't have to get out of it, but you've got to expand it, right? Really, really important that you see that as a distinction. Kind of like your muscles. If you want them to grow, you've got to work them, you've got to push them, you've got to stretch them, you've got to go running, you've got to exercise, you've got to lift weights. Your mind, your psychology, your identity is a muscle. You've got to stretch it, you've got to grow it, you've got to expand it if you want to have more success, more joy, more happiness, more fulfillment, and ultimately have a sense of feeling every day like, you know, you're showing up like the best version of you. That's it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to find out ways you can work with me this year, have a look in the comments. There are multiple ways we can work together. You can either do our Mastercoach life training, which is to become a certified life coach. You can also look at our Mastercoach business program, where you can become a business coach. And then there's also a couple of other ways that you can work together. If you want to spend time with me every month, if you're already a coach, then we have our Mastercoach boardroom, which you can see at the bottom as well. That's it from me. Peace out. God bless. Have a beautiful day. See you next time.